Hey everyone, how's it going? For today's video, I'm proud to present an up-close and personal, in-depth look at the all-new 2015 Mercedes-Benz S65 AMG Coupe. So this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the S65 Coupe. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clipping over the performance data, and show you many of the unique aspects of both the interior as well as exterior.
Before we begin, I'd like to thank Mercedes AMG for giving me the chance to get up close and personal with the S65 AMG Coupe during an exclusive event to test and film the all-new 2016 AMG GTS months ahead of its release. Be sure to stay tuned, a full review and track drive of the GTS is coming up next.
And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up. Let her run. Like many new cars in the AMG fleet, the S65 features a standard remote access smart key system, so you can lock and unlock the vehicle by just keeping the key fob in your pocket and utilizing the touch sensors on both the driver and passenger side door handle. To lock, just tap the little depressed portion. And to unlock, simply grab the handle because there's a touch sensor located behind it. The lock pins are inscripted with AMG. Like the sedan, there aren't any traditional door hinges. It doesn't stop at set positions. It's kind of like a little magnet mechanism built in to where wherever you want to put it, you can kind of position it and it'll hold its place. So if you're getting out of a tight parking space, it's definitely quite handy. Not to mention, if you fail to close the door all the way, the S65 features a standard soft closing feature and electromechanical mechanism built in that'll automatically bring it closed to the frame. The windows will also come down slightly to help clear the door frame and create a tight seal when everything shuts up.
This S65 is finished in gloss black, paired with a silk beige V12 exclusive hand-assembled diamond-quilted Napa leather interior with espresso brown piping and contrasting colors across the dash and upper panels. A unique layout for the coupe, featuring plenty of satin aluminum, high-gloss wood trim, and multicolor LED ambient lighting throughout, which we'll cover more in depth later in the video.
All you have to do to start is just put your foot on the brake, make sure you have the key fob within the interior, and hit the silver button in the dash to start.
The S65 Coupe's electromechanical steering features variable ratios and is specifically calibrated by AMG to deliver more feedback and heft compared to the sedan. Its design is compact and lightweight, combining the steering gear and servo motor together on a lightweight, rigid aluminum frame, which is positioned in front of the wheel's center line. It's even quite efficient as it only requires energy while being steered. Thanks to the varying ratios, the steering becomes more direct and responsive over the steering angle. It's sharper at higher speeds and more relaxed at low speeds. Two selectable suspension modes, Comfort and Sport, relaxes and stiffens the steering and suspension respectively. One of the main focus points of the Coupe's modified interior layout is an all-new steering wheel, which replaces the classic two-spoke design of the sedan for a decidedly more sporty three-spoke wheel with flat-bottom design. Both the wheel and airbag cover are trimmed in hand-stitched supple leather along with burl walnut wood trim and grip bolsters at 10 and 2. I believe, like the S63 Coupe, you can also get perforated leather in place of the wood, in addition to an AMG Performance steering wheel that replaces the perforated leather with Alcantara. Aluminum wraps around the airbag, highlights your multifunction controls, and tapers across the bottom with split-spoke layout. Like the sedan, the S65 Coupe sends its earth-moving power through AMG's Speed Shift Plus 7G Tronic gearbox, a new 7-speed transmission that replaces the 5-speed automatic found in the last generation S65 and CL65. Controlled through the direct shift selector in the steering column, simply hit the brake, pull down to drive, half a click up as neutral, and all the way up as reverse. Park is activated via the chrome button on the tip of the lever. There are 3 different driving programs activated by a button in the center console. These include Controlled Efficiency, Sport, and Manual. Controlled Efficiency gears the car for better overall economy, in addition to activating the Auto Start-Stop feature. Sport Mode raises the shift points and decreases shifting times by 30%. Shift times in both Sport and Manual are a mere 100 milliseconds accompanied by rev-matching downshifts, with the Manual mode allowing you to shift by the aluminum paddles on the steering wheel and maintain the selected gear at full throttle all the way to redline. The various suspension modes, like I just touched on, automatically shows up in the TFT display when activated, going between Comfort, Sport, as well as a new Dynamic Curve feature that's exclusive to the S65 Coupe for 2015. We'll talk more about that later in the video. As seen in my previous S-Class videos, one of the first things you'll notice is the new generation features fully digitalized instruments composed of 2 high-res 12.3-inch thin-film transistor liquid crystal displays. It allows for an incredible amount of technology to be packed within one simple yet elegant system backlit by LEDs. The left-hand side contains your digital analog gauges, night vision camera, and driver information system, while the right side houses your infotainment features, navigation, seat adjustments, climate control, and much more.
Once you put the vehicle in reverse, your backup camera and 360-degree camera system automatically pulls up in the display. The right-hand side shows the backup camera with adaptive guidance lines that automatically turn when you rotate the wheel. And the left-hand side here, you also have a top-down view to where it utilizes all of the cameras so you can see completely what's around the vehicle. Over here, using the command controller, you can change the different view modes and settings. 180 or 360-degree views. Click it all the way to the top to rotate between the different functions. Back, sides, both right and left, front, and the front view camera. This also works in conjunction with the vehicle's parking sensors.
I've talked a lot about safety in previous videos, but it's important to note the basics, including steering assist and lane departure warning systems, which allow the car to partially drive itself at certain speeds. There's also an adaptive braking system that helps counter crosswind resistance, balance wheel load and damping, not to mention a hold function that, if turned on, will keep the car planted at a stop even with your foot off the brake. During wet weather, the brakes automatically work to dry the rotors in case of emergency braking. The system is also capable of full autonomous braking at speeds below 35 miles an hour if a crash is imminent or a pedestrian is detected. Other features include self-parking both parallel and perpendicular, the night vision camera like you just saw, a driver alertness system, and a heads-up display beamed up on the windshield. In addition to the full adaptive LED headlamps with high beam assist, the S65 Coupe and S-Class Edition 1 Coupe feature headlamps filled with 47 Swarovski crystals each, 30 for the turn signals and 17 for the daytime running lights. Only found in these aforementioned coupes, they glisten like diamonds and put off a beautiful display at night, finished off with a long crystal towards the trailing edge, laser etched with Mercedes-Benz. Another longer crystal also graces the center console.
So we're going to flip them on, rear fog lamps, and the hazards. Both of the front windows are fully automatic, while the rear windows are automatic down only. So let's go and check out the exterior.
Just now hitting the streets for the 2015 model year, the all-new S-Class Coupe is designed to replace the previously offered CL Class. Derived from the latest generation S sedan that launched for 2014, this highly opulent coupe is designed to challenge the very definition of the word luxury. While many people still regard the S-Class as the luxury standard of the world, the CL, which was essentially a rebranded S-Class coupe, had somewhat fallen beneath the radar in recent years. With the 2015 S-Class Coupe, the lineup has been completely redefined, with unsurpassed engineering that now makes it one of the most competitive vehicles in its segment. Each new S-Class that debuts is expected to raise the bar, to take the moniker to the next level with pioneering advancements in automotive design, safety, and technology. The new Coupe is no exception. Specifically speaking towards the S65, the design, feel, and performance is right up there with other high-end marques such as the Bentley Continental GT and perhaps even the Aston Martin DB9, as it should be considering its estimated $230,000 price tag. The best or nothing slogan couldn't be more appropriate, as this new vehicle represents the most advanced coupe ever offered by Mercedes-Benz. Like the CL, many of the underpinnings, including the powertrain choices, come straight from the S-Class sedan. Keeping that in mind, it too is somewhat of a semi-autonomous vehicle that has the ability to drive itself for brief periods of time. It's also an all-LED automobile, and it has the ability to detect road imperfections to automatically adjust the shocks for rougher roads ahead. In designing the new S-Class, there were three engineering paramounts: intelligent drive, efficient technology, and the essence of luxury. To live up to the brand's slogan, the new S-Class had to be a cut above the rest in just about every aspect. Of course, with a new vehicle of this caliber, high-performance AMG versions are just down the pipeline. We've already been introduced to the S63 AMG with its 577 horsepower twin-turbo V8, but towering above them all is the new S65 AMG. With a twin-turbo V12 under the hood and bespoke design elements, it's not only the most powerful coupe offered, but it's also the most luxurious. The biggest benefit over the aging CL is approximately 140 pounds of weight savings thanks to a greater use of aluminum construction. While the CL weighed as much or more than an S-Class sedan, the new coupe actually weighs about 200 pounds less than the sedan. Torsional rigidity has also been improved by about 50%. For the first time, all of the body panels, including the roof, are aluminum. Aluminum also makes up many of the suspension components and structure, helping aid in decreased unsprung weight, further facilitated by forged wheel offerings. Lightweight, high-strength tensile steel makes up the majority of the passenger compartment for an extra level of protection and rigidity. Even the seats are lighter. The dimensions create a more dynamic-looking car than before. Even though it's still quite a large car, compared to the sedan, it's actually significantly smaller. The wheelbase is shortened by 8.7 inches, which results in a 7.9 inch shorter overall length. Height drops by 2.7 inches, while width shrinks by nearly an inch. The AMG Coupe rides nearly half an inch lower. Weight distribution between the front and rear have also been improved. AMG cars utilize a lithium-ion battery, which saves about 44 pounds over a traditional battery. The spare tire well, like the sedan, is also made of carbon fiber. The chassis has been tuned with greater negative wheel camber and a larger rear anti-roll bar and stiffer lower subframe for improved handling in the corners compared to the non-AMG car. The styling of the S65 Coupe is an evolution of Mercedes' latest design language, incorporating V12 and AMG-specific cues. Designed to speak to one's emotions by blending tradition and progressivism. Unlike the CL, the S-Class Coupe is far more sculpted. It's a beautiful silhouette that's honestly breathtaking in person. An absolute work of art. While it's definitely elegant, it's notably more aggressive than the CL in my opinion, while retaining the stately appearance we've come to know over the years. My favorite design aspects, continuing for 2015, are the obvious lack of B-pillars, creating an open interior environment and sensuous roofline. The front features a long hood with power dome creases that all flow towards the grille, as if to direct one's eyes to the three-pointed star. The side profile is two distinct body creases that begin at the front wheels and sweep across to create a dynamic, motion-inspired look. AMG cars take aggression a bit further with more aggressive fascias and side sills. A bold new grille highlights the front with a unique twin-bar design in AMG script. Larger air intakes with bright polished mesh and beautiful chrome lower splitter reduce lift by applying more downforce over the front axle. Air channeling to various components is facilitated by chrome winglets to either side, while a gap above the splitter sends air to a separate oil cooler. Flared side sills stand out with signature mirror quality chrome, also echoed in the rear fascia and diffuser. Out back, AMG cars are finished with a signature sports exhaust system with integrated bypass valve and quad polished pipes and small winglets to either edge. The rounded glass extends into the C-pillars before meeting into the deck lid, which incorporates a ducktail spoiler. The horizontal LED tail lamps are entirely new and wrap around the rear flanks. Finishing all up is a wide strip of chrome that sits above the tail lamps and extends across the entire trunk lid. Designed to deliver a unique driving profile, the S65 Coupe comes standard with an AMG-tuned sport suspension that incorporates the innovative Magic Body control system. Although, unlike the sedan counterpart, it features a number of unique bits to give it more dynamic and spirited handling. Debuting on the S65 Coupe is a new curve tilting feature which allows the car to lean into corners like a motorcyclist. The result is decreased lateral acceleration on the passengers, yielding the sensation as if you were going around a banked corner on a racetrack. This is all routed through the 3 suspension modes available between 10 and 111 miles an hour. Curve tilting continuously adjusts based on the curve radius and vehicle speed to lower one side of the vehicle while raising the other by between 2 and 3 degrees. It doesn't add to enhanced agility, just driving enjoyment. Magic Body control is only available on rear-wheel drive S-Class models. Therefore, while standard on the S65, it's also available on the rear-wheel drive S550 sedan. However, the standard S550 and S63 AMG Coupe counterparts are only available with 4MATIC all-wheel drive, diverting torque 33% in front and 67% in the rear by default. With 4MATIC, you get the aromatic adaptive air suspension as standard equipment. Therefore, on the Coupe, Magic Body control can only be had on the rear-wheel drive only S65. There's no extra space for 4MATIC with the size of the engine. The Magic Body control replaces the pneumatic setup with a fully active hydraulic active body control oil-over-coil suspension. In addition to adding road surface scan, which utilizes twin stereoscopic cameras mounted above the rearview mirror that can detect bumps up to 45 feet in front of the car. This data almost instantly preloads the shocks and suspension for upcoming bumps or curves. Road surface scan works up to 80 miles an hour only when the suspension is in comfort mode and the sensors aren't obstructed, such as in a snowstorm, fog, or inclement weather. The hydraulic system allows individual automatic adjustments of spring rates at each wheel to keep the ride balanced and compensating for lift, rolling, and pitching, varying between the driver's selectable modes, comfort, sport, and curve tilting. Sport mode takes advantage of the AMG specific calibration to create more dynamic and direct driving. If that's not enough, dynamic cornering assist provides torque vectoring, which applies the brake to the inside rear wheel in hard corners, reducing understeer and increasing turn-in by distributing more power to the outer wheel. Another new technology known as Magic Vision Control allows the rain-sensing windshield wiper blades to have laser-cut holes with integrated solution dispensers rather than cowl-mounted washer jets. It dispenses the right amount of fluid without temporarily obstructing vision. It also has programs for summer and winter modes with heated fluid. The S65 Coupe features a variety of lightweight AMG forged aluminum alloy wheels. This one in particular, unique to the V12, features an aggressive-looking set of 5 twin-spoke wheels with polished face, dark-painted pockets, and AMG inscripted in the outer rim edge. A specially designed lug nut cover blends into the center for a clean look. The asymmetric wheel design measures 20 by 8.5 inches in front with high-performance Continental 255/40 series tires, and 20 by 9.5 inches in the rear with 285/35 tires. Larger brakes come standard in AMG cars, consisting of 2-piece, cross-drilled and slotted ventilated discs, measuring 15.4 inches in front with fixed 6-piston calipers and 14.1 inches in the rear combined with a single-piston floating caliper and electronic parking brake. Carbon ceramic brakes with unique yellow calipers and Meteor 16.5-inch front rotors are also available, offering superior heat and fade resistance. Stopping distances from 60 miles an hour are estimated to be less than 110 feet. As far as the suspension, it's a fully independent 4-wheel multi-link setup with standard 2-mode driver adjustable dampers and Magic Ride control as discussed in depth earlier in the video. Overall length is 198.6 inches, with the width including the mirrors of 83 inches and height of 56 inches, riding on a 115.9-inch wheelbase. Total curb weight for the S65 Coupe is an estimated 4,700 pounds. Like the sedan, the S65 Coupe is powered by the 6-liter M275 twin-turbo V12, now fitted to the updated 7-speed AMG transmission which exclusively sends power to the rear wheels. The hand-built engine sits beneath a carbon fiber and aluminum engine cover decorated with AMG logos and the Mercedes star. With AMG's one-man, one-engine philosophy, a special badge is affixed to each engine that bears the technician's signature. It's an all-aluminum engine with 36 valves, single overhead cam design, port fuel injection, and a compression ratio of 9:1. Some highlights include an aluminum crankcase, forged crankshaft, multi-spark ignition system, air-to-water intercooler, and a standard Eco Start Stop feature to save a bit of fuel when coming to a stop. It develops 621 horsepower between 4,800 and 5,400 RPM with 22 psi of boost, and an earth-moving 738 pound-feet of torque between 2,300 and 4,300 RPM. That's a 44 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque gain over the already impressive S63. Top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles an hour, but can be raised to 186 miles an hour as an option. Manufacturer claimed 0 to 60 times are around 4 seconds. As far as fuel economy ratings, on premium gas in a 21.1 gallon tank, it's estimated between 13 miles to a gallon in the city and 20 on the highway. The interior of the S-Class Coupe is almost entirely bespoke, differing significantly from the sedan aside from a few dash bits and center console layout. Compared to the CL, it's far more modern in every aspect with vast improvements in comfort, refinement, and quality. As advanced as the technology is, ergonomics have improved greatly. The handcrafted interior features soft S65 exclusive diamond-quilted perforated Nappa leather on the seats, in addition to the various wood and carbon fiber trim options. It's designed to make you feel more relaxed than you were before your journey started. The redesigned multi-contour seats also come with a hot stone massage feature. If that's not enough, the panels across the doors and center console are also heated, keeping everything nice and warm on cold days. To say build quality is excellent would be redundant. After all, it's what you'd expect out of a vehicle of this class. S65s received Nappa leather-lined panels and dashboard with color accent stitching and piping, in addition to a leather-clad headliner and plenty of metal brightwork. From the machined Burmester speaker grills, a part of the optional high-end system, to the aluminum switchgear, it's all designed to work together and making the hand-built interior feel solid, premium, and above all else, modern. All of your power accessories, including power mirrors and memory settings, are located on the door. Like the sedan, the AMG Sport seats coddle you with an abundance of support and soft contours while featuring AMG tags on the backrests. On the doors, you'll see all of your basic power seat controls, including a power thigh extension, adjustable headrests, and standard automatic power seatbelt extenders. With the seat ventilation, rather than pushing air out initially as you would typically see, there's a reverse fan that works to cool the seat faster for a few minutes, whether it be on a hot day or after the seat heaters have been used. Then it pushes the air back out like normal. This allows the seats to get cooler faster when desired. All of the bolstering adjustments can be controlled from the infotainment system, which I'll show in just a bit. The leatherwork and attention to detail is nothing short of spectacular. As we continue, the door sills display illuminated AMG entry guards, while the floor is covered with plushier carpet mats and aluminum AMG tags with aluminum sport pedals. The steering wheel is power tilt telescoping with the auto tilt feature and heating built in. One of the most distinct features is the dash, which is far more curvaceous, seamlessly blending into the doors. For more information on the vast array of safety features, please see some of my previous S-Class sedan reviews. The LED interior lighting gives off a breathtaking display at night, and I'll show the complete array of colors in just a second. If that's not enough luxury for you, the car even has a built-in perfume atomizer that can disperse your choice of 4 various fragrances through the air purification system, formulated not to stick to yourself or the interior materials.
So let's go ahead and see how she sounds. When you go to close the door, the seatbelt will automatically come out via an electromechanical mechanism. It's also encased in aluminum and houses one of the Burmester tweeters. It makes it a whole lot easier to grab.
The standard Burmester 590-watt 13-speaker premium surround system utilizes Mercedes' front-based design. By using the firewall and cross members as resonance chambers, the subwoofers are moved under the dash rather than the doors, and the mid-ranges are moved up, which allow for more indoor storage space. If that's not enough, this S65 features the top-tier high-end Burmester 3D surround system with 24 speakers and 24 separate amplifier channels, putting out 1,540 watts. It's easily one of the most powerful, crisp-sounding audio systems I've heard to date, all routed through the newest generation Mercedes Command infotainment system with 80GB hard drive and in-car Wi-Fi hotspot, utilizing a rotary controller in the center console, and a new touchpad interface that we'll go over in just a bit. Within the vehicle settings of the command system, I'll show that a little bit more in just a second, you could choose to light up every aspect of the interior with 7 different colors of ambient illumination. When you open the doors, there's some extra footwell lighting and other illumination that makes it feel like daylight. The different customizable colors range from moonlight blue, daylight white, morning white, sunset orange, glow red, dawn red, and twilight purple.
The leather continues down the A-pillars. You can see some of the stitching up top here, and you have leather-wrapped visors with card holder and illumination up top. Auto-dimming view mirror with 3-position garage home link located down below. In the top stack, you have microphones for your hands-free Bluetooth telephone, LED interior illumination, as well as reading lamps, controls to the fully automatic sunroof and sunshade, SOS emergency roadside assistance, not to mention one of the Burmester speaker grills. Some of your ambient lighting, as well as the fully automatic sunshade,
The new touchpad is designed to make it easier to access vital features by employing the same philosophy of a smartphone or a tablet, recognizing 1 or 2 finger commands, swipe gestures, zoom gestures, in addition to writing letters and characters in multiple languages. Integrated within the handrest of the central control unit, the high-gloss surface feels nice and unobtrusive. 3 buttons towards the back correspond to the back button, favorites menu, and audio quick menu. Haptic feedback is delivered when you press down to make a selection. It's even smart enough to recognize whether you're trying to input a command or simply resting your hand on it. If desired, you can still use the rotary controller to access command features by clicking forward, backward, left, and right, and pressing down to make a selection. Not to mention the shortcut keys, corresponding to everything from media and telephone to vehicle settings and massage features. The newest generation command system features a fully customizable main menu in an app-style fashion. If we click down on navigation, it brings up your map in the high-res 12.3-inch screen. Click down on the wheel and it brings up your 3-tier menu like any traditional command system. With traffic and destination down below, full map in the middle, and up top is your different navigation settings. You can also split yield the screen, such as with your navigation or audio to the left. If we go back to the map, click down once more and go down to the bottom tier, we can go between the different options such as route settings, content display, traffic updates, vehicle position, as well as your destination input. So you can put in addresses, points of interest, home destination, and more. It's fairly easy to figure out once you play with it for a second and is quite responsive through the controller as well as the touchpad. Now we'll go ahead and check out the radio screen, where you have standard satellite radio, HD radio, and so much more. The middle portion of the screen will scroll through the available stations. You can go to the bottom tier, go to options, manually search, change the category, go between band and preset, as well as your equalizer and various audio adjustments. The digitalized aluminum rotary knobs are definitely a unique touch. You could change various preset sound profiles, and even locating the sound to one specific area of the vehicle in addition to your balance and fader. Back in the radio menu, you can check out song information down below, or you can go up top, select radio, and go between all the different radio modes, from streaming internet radio, info, your preset stations, HD radio, both AM and FM, and satellite radio. If we jet on over to the media screen and go up to the top where it says media, we can change between the different modes, such as your in-dash CD changer, SD card input, the vehicle's hard drive, iPod, auxiliary, USB integration, as well as hands-free Bluetooth streaming of audio. Back to the main menu, whatever media that you have playing, it shows your basic information, as well as your options down below. You can pause it, search by various categories depending on which media option, devices, and again your audio adjustments. Instead of going back to the main menu, you can just select the options up top, such as telephone. It'll automatically ask you to pair the Bluetooth device, and if you select telephone up top, it brings up some extra features such as with your phone, address book, accessing the internet, real-time weather updates, and info on your phone. If you select the Sirius weather updates, it gives you the weather map, you can have extended forecasts based on your position, and a lot more. It's a pretty cool feature, so if you actually bring up the map, you can see a huge area of weather. It shows different wind positions, high and low pressure areas, storms, and it's like you're watching the Weather Channel. It's a pretty interactive system. Now we go ahead and get to the fun stuff. Seriously. All of these different menus are completely interactive and so cool just to flip through and look at them. So let's go ahead and select vehicle settings. The car automatically pulls up and it brings up different customizable options. With each succeeding option, it highlights the particular area of the vehicle that you're looking at. So with lighting, it lights up all of the lights, automatic locking highlights the doors, interior lighting delay switch, exterior lighting delay. You can restrict the trunk opening height, it's power adjustable, and I'll show that a little later in the video. And, like I talked about earlier, the ambient light color. In this screen, like I showed you earlier, you can cycle through all the different spectrum of colors. You can also get a preview, if it's during the daylight, of what the color is going to look like in the interior with the interactive menu. You can also change the brightness so it doesn't have to be so polarizing at nighttime. Easy entry-exit seat, the panel heating. Unlike the sedan, the back area isn't heated, it's just the front console and door panels. When you're done with vehicle settings, go ahead and exit the system, and the car automatically drives back like it's parking. The other set of adjustments I'd like to point out are the various seat settings for the multi-contour seats. You have active massage, the dynamic multi-contour portions, seat heating balance so you can customize what areas are hot and what are not, reset the settings back to the factory specifications, adjust the sides, the lumbar, shoulder support, and the hot stone feature. I know it may seem a little overwhelming at first, especially with the customizable menu, but you can tailor it totally to your likes and specifications, and really once you mess with it a little bit, it becomes second nature. You can even dim out the screen if desired, and select all of your clock adjustments from either the vehicle settings or the app from the main menu.
In a nutshell, those are all the basic features of the command system in the Mercedes S65 AMG. While the dash continues some familiar design cues from the sedans, such as the circular air vents, the overall design is quite different. It's only until you get to the screens where it's pretty similar, but across the sides, everything is so rounded and curved. The wood grain extends up into the dash and rounds back around to where it meets into the display panel. Of course, trimmed in leather and color accent stitching, not to mention subtle aluminum trim. The air vents are beautiful attention to detail, aluminum, feel nice and solid and cold to the touch, just like a metal air vent should. Easily adjustable, with little organ stop controls to where you can close the vent or open it. Down below is a standard dual-zone electronic automatic climate control that's fully independent. One-touch automatic for either side, temperature, fan speed, front and rear defrost, and recycling. Right here you have a little menu button that if you press it, it brings up more detailed settings within the command system, so you can adjust your temperature, air distribution, so changing the different zones, air flow, so the fan speed, adjust the footwell, climate control mode, and activating your perfume atomizer. The system also features a built-in air filtration system and ionizer to make sure the air is as clean as possible. The controls are all aluminum and have a knurled finish for a little bit more of a tactile feel. Right beneath that is a lighter, ashtray, and/or power outlet. And this high-gloss wood center console that folds away, and I'll show you that in just a second. There's a Swarovski crystal right here that provides the point where you can grab it and pull it back. A nice complement to the headlight design like we talked about earlier. pull it back, and you have a little storage tray and your in-dash CD changer. Hit this little tab, and it brings up 2 cup holders that are also adjustable. The center console, of course, trimmed in leather, with a large section right here, the AMG crest embossed on top, and a pretty good amount of storage space. You have a spot for an integrated telephone and your iPod media integration. This one actually features a lightning connector for new generation iPhones. As far as the steering wheel, on the right hand side you have your radio controls, hands-free telephone, and voice commands. Help.
For which functions do you want help? Change disc. Select track. Search for music. All media player functions, or voice controllable devices.
Cancel.
Cancel.
The left-hand side, you're able to turn off your voice commands if you didn't want to say cancel. There's a back button, a home button, and the controls that all correspond to your driver information system located in between the speedometer cluster. Using the up and down arrows, you can select between the different options. Up top, you have a trip computer, fuel data, digital speed readout, odometer, and the like. Navigation, radio, media, telephone, assistance, service, personalizable options, and an AMG screen that brings up some auxiliary gauges like transmission and oil temperature, digital speed readout, and what gear you're currently in. And no matter which menu you're in, if you hit that little home button, it brings you back to the main one. Of course, for the digital gauge layout, it's also custom tailored for AMG models, with the AMG logo to the left and V12 Biturbo for the right, or V8 Biturbo. The buttons right here correspond to lowering the rear headrest for better visibility, rear sunshade, extending out the seatbelt holders, and display brightness. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and shut her down. And check out the back seat. To gain access to the back seat, all you have to do is just grab this little aluminum handle and pull it forward. The seat automatically slides and raises on its own.
While this particular car didn't have it, one of the cooler options for the back seat is a refrigerated cool box to go behind the armrest.
Storage pockets on the back of the seats. The first thing that you'll notice when you climb into the back of the S-Class Coupe is every bit of attention to detail that you find in the front transmits back here, including the soft hand-stitched leather, color accent stitching, leather headliner, LED lighting, and you have a full-length center console right here that incorporates a Burmester speaker grille and a wood veneer center console lined in velour. And within the center console, you also have 2 12-volt power outlets. In the middle, soft leather armrest with 2 fold-out cup holders and a good amount of storage within. The back seats are 3-stage heated, and there's actually a pretty good amount of room back here. The seats are actually really comfortable. They offer a nice amount of lower back support and plenty of lateral support with some pretty big bolsters up top and down below, so it'll definitely keep you held in if you decide to do a little bit more spirited driving. So, sitting in the back of the S-Class Coupe, it's a pretty open vehicle. Just a small C-pillar in the back, but there's plenty of visibility outside, so it doesn't feel cramped whatsoever. There's upper and lower side airbags, and a coat hook up top. As far as overall interior room, it's definitely a nice place to be. It's your typical coupe proportions. There's not a ton of space back here, but there's more than you would expect. I mean, after all, this is a larger car. It's just not going to compare to the front. I do like what Mercedes did, though, is where the mechanisms for the sunroof stop, they actually cut out the headliner right here to give you about that much of extra wiggle room, so there's plenty of headspace. I'm around 5'10", and I probably have, I'd say about 1.5 inches or so of headspace, depending on where you put it. You have your LED reading lamps up top here. There's a little LED indicator for the rear parking sensors, and when you go to bring the seat back, if it touches your legs, instead of pinching you, it'll actually stop and go forward just a little bit. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to go ahead and put my knees far forward, and you can see how far it goes up. And it'll allow you about 1/2 inch or so of leg space, so depending on the height of the front passengers, it'll definitely leave you accommodated back here. So let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle.
As you can see, the S-Class Coupe features a powered liftgate as standard. Once open, it's around 10.4 cubic feet of cargo space, which isn't too bad overall. It's a pretty deep storage well. You have little pockets to either side, illumination, a power outlet off to the right, and underneath a tire inflation kit and a subwoofer.
The passenger seat features the same multi-contour adjustments that you find on the driver's seat. The leather-wrapped glove box is also lockable. Has a pretty decent amount of space, lined in velour. Not to mention a little air vent right there. When opened, you can cycle in cold air if you want to keep something chilled. And it also contains your perfume atomizer.
The Mercedes S-Class is a legend in pioneering technology. With the new coupe, Mercedes has once again established the benchmark in the luxury coupe class. There are plenty of high-priced luxury cars out there, but just a few that successfully combine prestigious power, refinement, and a high level of safety in a fully modern and exclusive package. The S-Class has once again reaffirmed its top spot not only with the sedan, but the coupe as well.
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the all-new Mercedes S65 AMG Coupe. Be sure to stay tuned next time. There's a lot more where that came from. Take care, everybody.